All right, I am here with Alex Hwang from
Yes.
Monsters Calling Home for the Dishmaster.com. Alex has kindly agreed to do an interview with me after I fell in love with his band. Where did I see you? I saw you guys at
It
the
was at the
Mint.
Mint, yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good venue.
I really loved it. That was the first time I've been in that
So,
place.
so when I saw you at the Mint, how long had Monsters Calling Home been together?
That was, I think it was March. So we've been together since September. September. So
Wow.
it's just been like 6, 7. Now it's been about 8 months. So yeah.
Wow, you guys are so good for just 6 months,
Thank
8
you.
months.
It's really the rest of the band. They've been playing for a long time.
So tell me about how you guys all met and how you came together.
Okay. So I was a singer-songwriter. Just did it throughout college and kind of played at cafes. Took a break for a year just from doing any music performance and wrote a couple songs. One in particular, it was called Monsters Calling Home. And then there was this huge kind of an Asian American talent show that they were doing at the Nokia Theater. And I was helping out a couple of years back on the backstage end. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to play at the Nokia Theater. But I needed a big band to kind of fill up the stage. So I took the song that I wrote, brought it to a friend of mine at church, and he told me about a drummer that was in his band that he thought it would be good for, and then a couple other people at my church, along with just another violinist that we knew. We got together, played it, thought it was worth auditioning for. Auditioned, got into the auditions, figured, okay, let's practice before this big show. Had 2 or 3 gigs before that. And then after the show, we lost to this guy that had 2 yo-yos, and we were really sad. But
2 yo-yos?
yeah, he had hip hop songs and then did some yo-yo tricks. And
What?
It really did
That's
make a
so
lot of sense.
gimmicky.
It was really gimmicky, but
That's
somehow
ridiculous.
but the good thing was everyone at the
Who voted?
they were a panel of judges, and
Let's find them and kill them all.
we've thought about that many times, but we don't want to be so petty. Everyone after the show really liked us. They kept a lot of people just told us like, yeah, you guys should have won, or like you guys were my favorite band. This kind of big Asian band blog called Angry Asian Man said we were his favorite. Blogged about us. We got a lot of hits off of that, and then people wanted to hear some more music. So since then, it's been like, okay, let's play one more show. Or like,
So when you guys started performing, that's when you were practicing for that show. How
Yeah.
long did you say you practiced for that show?
about a month.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you practiced that one song that you had written for that month.
Yeah.
And they were friends of yours from church?
Yeah, they were all friends of mine from church. The drummer, he was in my friend's band, and I knew about him, and we had played a couple shows together. Just
But
when I was
everybody
in-
else, it was just like, hey, I've got this song and I
Yeah.
want to audition. And you knew that they were all musicians.
Yeah, well, one I just knew because he was a bass player at church, and I just knew he had a good voice, but no one wanted him to sing all the time. So he was on board. Sally, the girl,
Who I love. Is that the one I love?
yeah, with
Yeah.
the blonde hair. It was really weird. She's never really sang out loud in a band or on stage, even at church. I just liked the way she's talked, and I
Yeah.
just thought she had a really good tone, and she's incredibly fashionable. So took a chance with her, and
So you
saw
just
it, yeah.
had you heard her sing before?
No,
you,
not.
You randomly just went up to her and
Yeah,
said
I was
maybe
like,
you
would
could.
you want to try this, and put her on the spot. It was really hard because she's really
Wow.
shy, and it's been a process that in and of itself.
You know, that's exactly why I liked her, because of her shyness. There's something really authentic about her when she
Yeah.
sings, and it really struck me. I remember specifically looking at her on stage
Oh,
because she
awesome.
seems so sweet and authentic when she sings, which
Wow.
maybe you shouldn't work with her at all.
Yeah,
Actually,
Sally, do you hear that? When you hear this, I
Yeah.
hope you know that
I really
you have fans out there.
Yeah, I really don't want her to become more confident on stage. There's something really sweet about her performance that
That's
I
great,
love.
actually. No, and that's the cool thing about this. I don't want to control too much of it.
Yeah.
And because I've kind of let go in a lot of aspects, and there's so many other people I have to deal with in the band, like this whole organic process of just playing more shows, finding new fans, and just learning from this experience has been pretty refreshing in terms of just.
I wonder too, when you get together, I know you said you knew these people, but you don't always know if you're going to get along and have chemistry as the personalities are going to combine well.
Right.
Do you find that you guys all mesh well?
I kind of tested out. Obviously, in our rehearsals, we try to figure out the balance, and it's been it's been interesting. I'd had to talk to each member of the band and be like, one person's just a perfectionist. He has like perfect pitch. He can play every single instrument. He's been in recording studios before, and so I had to call him all out on things and being like, okay, we all want to make the perfect song, but first of all, let's just make the perfect atmosphere for those songs to come out. And in order to do that, you know, you got to just step back a little, let Sally, you know, breathe, and let the other people that aren't as musically talented as you to kind of just, you know, be patient with them and
let it be organic.
Yeah, yeah. And so those are the things that we do. Also, we went to a friend of ours goes to UC Davis, and she hooked us up with a gig there. And so it was kind of a test to see how we do in the car for more than, you know, 3 hours. And so we're trying to like step out baby steps to figure out if we...
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
If you can road trip with somebody, then you really like them.
Yeah.
How did that road trip go?
It was fine. It was great.
Really?
I think we had a good time. We kicked Sally out of the band like 18 times, but that's kind of a running
poor
joke.
Sally. I love her. She's going to cry when she hears this.
Yeah, yeah. But she needs to toughen up, so
oh, no. So you've discovered like slowly that you're getting along.
Yeah, we're
and do you?
that.
I know you guys harmonize a lot, which is once Min, he's here in the background. He tells me that I have a weird thing that goes off in my brain when I hear harmonies.
Yeah.
that just does it for me.
Oh, well then
I love that, but I wonder, do you think there's any jealousy about you being the lead singer, or you approached because you were the one who started it? It's fine.
So far it's been okay. I think
I'd have to ask them
yeah,
when you're not
probably
around.
have to ask them. I really don't mind not singing either.
Yeah.
So I think we're just learning to write more songs. So
well, the way you guys are set up too on stage, you're on the side. You're not in front of the entire band. So everybody sort of, I don't know if you still do that. When I saw you at the Mint, that's how it was set up.
Yeah.
You're not front and center of the band as the singer, right? Like
yeah,
like Mick Jagger.
We're trying different things, and for the satellite show that we just had last Friday, we did have, well, it wasn't that I was directly in the middle, but we were kind of all in a line. And, I think, yeah, we're going through a lot of things, and that was definitely intentional. I definitely wanted to make sure that it wasn't the focus about like I am the lead singer and this is my band, but more, you know, take in the whole experience and let the harmonies kind of breathe and let them actually like be front and center when they come out.
Yeah,
so.
it's very Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young of you.
Yeah.
to spread it out that way. I wonder if a label got a hold of you though, if they would say we're making you the lead singer and we're putting you in tight leather jeans, and that's it. No, I'm joking.
That's why I think the rest of the band is there so they can slap me if I ever put those jeans
Yeah,
on, so.
could you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like bands where the lead singer gets a big head, it always started that way from day one.
Yeah,
whereas you guys all seem to be very friendly and personal.
Yeah.
So when you started songwriting, you said it was your whole life you were songwriting?
Kind of. I started in kind of middle school and high school. Just probably a girl that I liked. I tried to sing a song about her so I could kiss her.
Really?
Yeah, very refreshing.
Did you sing it for her?
I did. I didn't get that kiss, but then the second girl I did. I got.
Wait, did first girl, was she appreciative that you wrote a song for her?
She was, but I think I don't know what happened. I think the song was just not. It was too indirect, and I was being very like weirdly. I was being too Asian about it, and being like, you know, like really polite, and be like, "Hey, this song is kind of about you, but don't worry about." And then when I didn't get the kiss,
go for it.
Yeah, the second one I was just like, "This is about you and me on this piano bench." So
that worked.
That totally worked. So.
Wow.
And then
I need to find. Can you please write a song for me? I mean, I've never had a man write a song for me.
Man.
It's just so upsetting.
It helped.
That's got to be instant. That's it. It's over.
It's kind of because of that one as well. I realized I don't want to be that guy though. So after that kiss, I was like, all right, let's not be too douchey and let's put some more thought into the.
You want to be manly.
Yeah.
You don't want to be.
Because then when I got to college, I found all these guys that would just bring out a guitar and then play Oasis Wonderwall when nobody asked for it. And I was like, I really don't want to be that guy. So I was a little bit more thoughtful in my songwriting.
Yeah, the guy with the guitar in the dorm room.
Yeah. So
I know that guy.
I tried not to do that. I probably did once in a while, so I'm sorry.
So, but that was the first time that you really wrote and debuted a song.
Yeah.
So did you know that you had songwriting ability at that point?
I didn't actually. That was in high school, and then I quit that for a second because college was really fun. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Thailand for my junior year. Actually, I went to New Zealand, and then I went to Thailand just to backpack while I was in that area. And then when I came back, in Thailand, I wrote a song about this lady boy that I met, and there's a lot of lady boys out there, and some of them are work the streets, and two of them came up to me and like grabbed me out in the street, and I freaked out, ran away, wrote a song, actually played that song to different travelers, and they liked it. So I went back home and I wrote that song out. People really liked that song, and then I wrote this other song about my family. And then after those two, I realized, oh, people really like this, and so that's when I just got back into it and try to play more songs rather than covers.
All the songs that you played when I saw you guys perform, is that all your material that you wrote? So
far, yeah. That's been in the last like year and a half or 2 years of songwriting.
And do the other members of the band want to contribute to the songwriting, or they're fine with you?
Oh no, they do. Yeah, they do. I just had this like back catalog of like 6 songs that everyone really liked in the band.
Yeah, I love those songs that you played.
And so, thank you. So that's why they're okay with that, but I definitely would like to make a space where everyone else is writing and you.
I'd recommend against it. I think you're just opening the door for trouble. No, I'm joking.
We'll see.
You know what? I don't share really, so I'm probably the worst person to give you advice on that.
Yeah.
So the other members of the band, well, I guess when you open the door, that will really test the collaborative process.
Yeah. I think you're catching us in a very interesting space, just because this was a time where we were gonna be behind closed doors and see if we mesh well as songwriters, or how else can we collaborate. But in the meantime, people keep making us want to be more public.
Well, yeah, you guys are. I remember when I saw you at the Mint, and then I emailed you right away because I thought you guys were incredible. You wrote me an email saying, well, we're so new and we're trying to really hone our craft before we're out there. And I was shocked by that because I could have sworn you'd been playing for years around Los Angeles. And I thought, well, how have I never seen you before? I thought you guys were so polished.
Yeah, I think that might just be because, well, I've been playing a little bit. But again, my drummer, he's been
You're
signed.
A drummer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the drummer that I have right now, he was signed to a major label and went on tour, went on support tour for like Third Eye Blind or something, and
so he has the stage presence.
Yeah, he's been there before. So, and then the other guy, Daniel, who's the electric guitar violinist, pitch perfect man. He's been in a band before, and he's just been performing. So he was actually a classically trained like violinist, and so he's been.
See, I feel like you masterminded this before you approached them. You're smart enough to know who to pick, and that's how you automatically became so good on stage.
It could be. I don't know. I guess looking back on it, yes, I seem very like,
you were scoping the scene.
But really, honestly, I wrote that song, and Daniel, the violinist, just told me like, you should try playing with this drummer and see if it works out. When I did, he really liked the song. It's like, okay, let's try to find some other sounds to kind of round it out. And so it's just, I've been really lucky, I guess.
Do you know that your drummer sticks his tongue out when he plays?
He sticks a lot of things out. So
oh no!
I'm glad that that's the only thing you
oh,
caught.
Stop it! I think he's really cool on stage. He seems like just cool, but it's weird. See, stage presence is such a weird thing because you can sound really good as a band, but then get on stage and not be the best live performance.
Right.
So it's awesome to be able to have both,
and also get along with them. This is something really special, and I just want to make sure I don't step too fast in any direction.
Right, you don't want to jump in.
Yeah,
become massive too quickly, and then have the growing pains.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do have a mortgage, so
that's true.
Still some bills.
It's tempting. Yeah. If it were me, I would just go, give me everything. I will not look before I leap, and that will be the end of it.
Yeah.
What about your Killers cover? I really like that.
I've loved the Killers ever since high school, and I think when I saw them first, I think it was random. I remember my friends seeing them on a Coachella lineup, like really down at the small font, and then the next year they were like headlining, and I listened to that album so many times. I was at cafes trying to play their songs just straight live, just straight loud. People just hated me for that, and I would just be singing like Mr. Brightside really loudly in a cafe.
Yeah.
And then so one day, someone was like, can you just chill out, bro?" And then I did, and then since I knew the song so well, I just slowed it down, and then it became my favorite song to cover. And then when
Yeah,
I
it
brought
sounds
it
great.
to the rest of the band, they were like, "Why don't we just put some violins?" Or Sally, you're a really quiet singer. Why don't you try?
Aw.
Why don't you try this out? And so it just, again, it was just organic and very natural.
Are you able, for live performances, can you sense the audience's reaction to your music?
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot easier now because there's a band, so that there's moments when we're just jamming and I don't have to sing all up in the
Right,
mic,
so you can look around.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's another thing that we're trying to. I think the last show, that's been the one where we were able to kind of check and see the rest of the audience, because most of the shows we've just been so focused on trying to be in.
Yeah, because I wonder for a live performer if you can change, you can sort of tell what song is resonating with the audience and what moments are working and not working, and then sort of change it around to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to do, and again, the other members help out a lot. They catch something, and then we'll email each other after the show and be like, "Hey."
And you take that criticism well, or that
we yeah we
that's
try
good.
to be very.
Again, you're so much healthier than me. I don't think I'd be like, "What do you mean? How dare you? Everything is perfect."
Yeah, no, that's I think I've just learned a lot. I think from being just a singer-songwriter cafe person and having to get the people's attention just based on your own guitar and voice, that it's just been so much easier now that with other people there helping out and the attention being on them. So yeah, I don't know.
And how do you tour around LA at these venues? Do you just randomly hear about them? And
so far it's been, I didn't have to reach out to any, either my friends help out with my booking, just some coworkers, my other job, the coworkers, they work in venues, and
so it's all sort of connection based.
Yeah, or people have just been emailing and asking for our band through our Facebook or website and saying, "Would you like to play here?" And it's been a great problem to kind of sift through all those without having to reach out.
Have you guys performed anywhere outside of LA yet?
We've performed up at UC Davis, and besides that, I went on an East Coast tour with my friend's band. They're kind of taking a break for a while because their lead singer is going to seminary school. So they just all decided to buy tickets to the East Coast and then see what venues or people would want to see them. And so I was unemployed, so I went over there. So I played in Virginia, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York,
and
Boston. So.
Do you think that I've heard musicians say that the LA crowd is not the best when they perform. Do you find that now that you've performed outside of Los Angeles?
I can kind of see that. It's not, yeah. Well, I feel like just the LA crowd, sometimes they seem, sometimes they seem too cool for school. Like they've got other stuff going on. Their phones are always out. Sometimes it's the same at other cities, but when you go to, like, I don't know, Connecticut, like they're just all there and they're like really attentive, and so
I think LA people become desensitized. There's such a saturation of
so much music playing that
so
like,
much music. Yeah,
I probably already heard this band already, and so they won't give it a chance.
Yeah, or another thing I've heard is you go to see your friend's band, but you're not really interested in the band after them.
Yeah,
you're just loyal to one band, then you go home. You know,
yeah.
It's actually funny because the Mint, I was invited by a different band, and then you guys played, and I was like, "Who is this?" Yeah, I actually am different than what I hear complained about. Yeah, I actually stayed for the whole lineup. Yeah. But that's what I love. I actually love that about Los Angeles is you can find a random, really great band at whatever hole in the wall venue, and they're just people trying to make it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And I think there are now more venues that are, I don't know, that aren't on Sunset, that that brings pretty good talent around if you catch them on a good night. So.
Yeah, you guys performed on Friday at Satellite, right?
Yeah, Silver Lake, and so it's been good. It used to be called Spaceland, and
I like that venue. I like the actual. There's like stars or whatever.
Yeah.
When you walk in,
I feel like part of it just feels like a roller skate rink.
Yeah, that's right. It does feel that way.
But it's really, I like it. And there's that upstairs like pool table and other places.
Yeah, it's a cool venue. There's some really cool. I love the Mint, like we said. Have you performed? What other venues have you guys performed?
We did the Foundation Room at the House of Blues.
That's another good one.
That's a fun one because upstairs, like if you look up, there's a bunch of just faces looking down on you.
Oh yeah.
House of Blues or wherever he played.
I saw you guys also at, what's the theater one? That's really
Bootleg Theater.
Bootleg, that's a good one.
That's a good one that most people don't know about.
Yeah.
And people should go to, because from the outside it just looks like some
it looks like a hole in the wall. Yeah. And
just,
it's cool because there's the stage is sort of far away. It feels like a really professional concert, but also a hole in the wall theater, which is really cool.
So,
but you guys seem to have a massive following when I went that night. You have some very loyal followers, I feel like.
I feel like, luckily, we just have the most loudest Asian fans ever.
Oh.
So they're good. And then from my past work, where I worked at a talent agency, I think that was part of the reason why I didn't mind, or I didn't mind making that jump of like going into unemployment, because a lot of those people really liked my music and would come out to shows. And from the last couple of shows, they've been coming out and supporting, and it's really hard to satisfy them because they see a lot of music, and so being on that side of the industry.
So you're doing this now full time. You're a full-time musician.
Yeah, doing this full time. I've been able to live off a really small salary for the last 3 years, and was able to even buy a condominium.
Wow, good for you.
That my parents live with me because I had to help them out with some situations that they have, and so seeing that and knowing that I can take care of myself with a pretty small budget, I figured I can get part-time jobs and be really happy. And
that's great.
It's a good time, I guess. And I feel like this is the stage where I can make the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, yeah. And I always feel like I'm always jealous of creative people who get to be creative all day. I mean, I know you struggle for so long to eat basically when you do that, but it's so romantic in so many ways, especially if you're not married and supporting a family. And like you said, now is the time to really do that. It's probably the only time you can do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like
go big or go home.
Right. And then I just don't want to be, in my 30s and this regretting the fact that, I could have at least tried and see if, I want to fail big at least. And so.
But your other members aren't all.
Yeah, they range. Like some of them, like my drummer has been signed and knows that that's his life and he wants to drum for the rest of his life, and in whatever capacity it is, whether it's through Monsters or whatnot, he wants to, be a part of that. The others, one has a great job somewhere else, and the others are just students, and so it's kind of interesting. This is kind of the time to see who's gonna be, who's in and who's serious about. Yeah.
So how did you say Monsters Calling Home? How'd you come up with the name?
Oh, the name came from the song Monsters Calling Home, and the song was about just immigrant parents and how they kind of have to give up everything and then come here, make a living, and then raise these kids that sometimes really don't appreciate them, and then speak English, and when these parents don't, and then so many things could go wrong in that situation, and then you become a monster just because of your surroundings. But at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find the place that we call home or family. And I think from that and other stories that I got from other friends, that was like the kind of turning point, or that was the platform from where I got that song. And so after that, when we performed the song, we were there like, do you guys have a band name? And it's like, no, just use that name. And then
I like it.
It kind of just came out. And randomly, those initials are my dad's initials. And so it was just like, oh wow, that was like a cool connection that's great. Can keep. And so
I love that name.
Yeah.
So what's next on the horizon for you guys?
We have a show. We have 2 shows, or 3. We have one down in San Diego for a benefit for this organization called Link Liberty North Korea, and then after that, one that I'm kind of personally excited for is we're playing at the Central in Santa Monica, May 15th. It's a Tuesday. It's a free show. And the headlining of the residency act is Austin Brown, and he's the nephew of Michael Jackson, Debbie Jackson's son.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And he is really fun to watch and listen to. So I'm really excited just to meet him. And
That's great.
Hello. Yeah.
That's great. I'll promote it at a later date. I'll put the dates up on the dishmaster.com.
Great, yeah.
Alex, you're awesome for coming here and doing this interview with me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a major fan. I will continue to stalk you at every show.
Yes.
I am loyal to a fault when it comes to these things. You'll be like, enough already. Go away. No, I know. But yeah, thank you so much.